In this video, we're going to have an introduction to polynomials. In this box, we have a number of definitions that we're going to see throughout the examples, and I'll refer back to them while we're going through the problems. So let's take a look at number one. We have, using the above definitions to part A through G, in A, write a binomial of degree 4. And you can see from number 3 in our box that a binomial is a polynomial that has exactly two terms. So we want degree 4, which means that we're going to have an x variable of 4. So I could have x to the 4th minus 2x. And we have two terms, x to the 4th and 2x, and they're separated by an addition or a subtraction sign. In B, we have write the polynomial 16x minus 15x squared plus 4x cubed plus 8 in descending order. Descending order means that we're going to write each term in order from the highest degree to the lowest degree. So the term with the highest degree is 4x cubed. We have three factors of x in this term. So we're going to have 4x cubed, and then the next lowest degree is our 15x squared, so minus 15x squared. And then we have 16x plus 16x, and then we have plus 8. And this is the polynomial in descending order, and that refers to number 11 in our box. In C, it says write a trinomial with a leading coefficient of 6 and a leading degree of 2. So if we want a trinomial, in 4 we can see that a trinomial is a polynomial with exactly three terms, and we want a leading coefficient of 6, so we're going to have 6x, and then we want degree of 2, so 6x squared plus 5x minus 10. So just like in part A, where I could have put any term I wanted after the x to the 4th plus or minus, and in this polynomial I could have put anything where I have 5x minus 10, as long as we had one term that had an x in it and one term that didn't have any x's or zero factors of x. Because if we're a trinomial and we start with x squared, then the only two possibilities are to have an x and then a constant. In D, we have write a monomial that has coefficient of 5 and a degree of 6. And a monomial, you can see from number 2, is a polynomial that has exactly one term. So if we want a monomial and we want the leading coefficient to be 5 and they want us to have a degree of 6, so x to the 6th. In E, we have how many terms are in the polynomial 5x cubed minus 13x squared plus 11x minus 6 plus 8xy minus 12xy squared minus 4x squared y plus y squared. And they want to know how many terms are in the polynomial. So we just need to count each term that is separated by a plus or a minus sign. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 terms. In F, it says, what is the degree of the polynomial? So in order to get the degree of the polynomial, we look at the leading term, which is the term with the highest degree, and that's going to be our first term, 5x cubed y to the 4th divided by 8, and we see how many factors we have of each variable combined. So we have 3 factors of x, and we have 4 factors of y, so our degree is 7. And then it asked, what is the leading term? And we looked at that to find our degree. So our leading term was 5x cubed y to the 4th divided by 8. And now it wants to know, what is the leading coefficient? We could also write this leading term as 5/8 x cubed y to the 4th. And written like this, it's a little easier to see that our coefficient is 5/8. And in G, it says, true or false, every binomial is a polynomial, and every polynomial is a binomial. And this is going to be false. So the first part of the statement is true. Every binomial is a polynomial. Remember, a binomial is a specific type of polynomial that has two terms, exactly two terms. So if we have a polynomial of two terms, it's a binomial. Well, every polynomial isn't of two terms, so every polynomial can't be a binomial. And that's our video on the introduction to polynomials.